there's this stigma.
Yeah.
I mean, the idea of elder care, sticking mom or dad in the home is still, that's a bad situation. And unfortunately that industry, there are people that do a great job but there's a lot that is just bad.
Yeah.
And so you're going to care for them at home. And that, the stress of that, the financial burden of that, it's tough on everybody too. Not just the caregiver, but the family member as well, right?
No, you're right. You're right. Okay. So, and I'm glad you brought that up. I mean, that's awesome that your sister was able to do that, because you know what? Recent research came out of Duke University on this, and get this, it's something we all know deep down. If you move your mom and dad into a facility, life expectancy goes down by 3 years. So it's a fact.
Wow.
Like, you are giving somebody, I hate to say it, because the assisted living industry is much needed and many people don't have a choice, but it is really, you are accelerating death by 3 years, and for a variety of reasons, like social, physical, cognitive, etc. So, these are instincts that people have had for obviously generations or hundreds of years, that I shouldn't put my mom or dad in that situation. But now it's like backed by hard science. If that's what happens, this is baseline adjusted for everything, right? Adjusted for race, pre-existing health conditions, income level, everything. So, and across spectrum of facilities. So I think that is a challenge. And I think if you kind of combine that with societal preferences, where if you think about the assisted living industry, and it's like interesting, like I was born in the 80s, right? So it's like in my lifetime, assisted living concepts was like a startup, right? That then grew in the 80s, became a big thing. Then all these other companies emerged. So the concept is only 40, 50 years old. And I think with the baby boomers kind of having put their own mom and dad heavily into these places, and with COVID and seeing what happened, I think there's a growing desire in today's 70-year-old, 75-year-old, 80-year-old of like, I will do anything it takes to stay at home. And I think that, so you have this shift in preference combined with emerging research that it's not good for you to move. So a lot of people are going to be dealing with care at home. And then I think to your point, it's like beyond the financial impact, the mental health and physical health stress on the family caregiver, I think, is notable. When you take care of somebody at home, there's another interesting statistic that came out that within 1 year of taking care of somebody at home, you as a caregiver have 25% chance, or sorry, 33% chance of having a mental health problem just from becoming a caregiver, 25% chance of having a physical health problem. I mean, that's nuts. And we see that all the time in our platform. Like, you have somebody taking care of mom with Alzheimer's, within a year, it's, I got some heart issues. It's like crazy. I mean, people, it's a common joke, a sad, dark joke, in the industry, that sometimes the caregiver might die before the person they're caring for, but it's just the strain of caregiving is intense on the family caregiver.
Well, you're right. It's that, in addition to the, these are oftentimes your prime working years, your income earning years. So your career is going to suffer. I'm not even talking about if you're on an upward trajectory. You're just saying, hey, the amount of time, or when mom's calling you 5 times a day, or, hey, I don't know how to work the TV, or whatever it is. That takes a toll, because you can't be where you are. You can't be present at work. You can't be present at your own life or in your own relationships. And that's a tough one. What do you see? I mean, and again, I'm not making light of this. This is just a genuine concern that I've seen firsthand, but also the conversations we have. I know that my partner Shannon, her mother passed a couple of years ago, and I know that she lived up the street. Okay, we were fortunate in that. Now, we had people go in and care, but it was also that every day she's calling, 5 times a day, and you love them, you want to be there with them, but you're just like, God, mom's being a pain in the ass. I don't want to have to pick up this call. I've had to tell you this 5 times. I mean, what do you see, or what do you suggest for that stress for caregivers?
No, great question. I think that there are emerging like innovations and resources, kind of available to people, so that caregivers can kind of get a break. I'm really glad to be part of what AARP is building with like the Age Tech Collaborative. What they call it is like this huge technology innovation ecosystem where people are building technology tools to help family caregivers kind of like keep an eye on their loved one, give their loved one like activities, things to do, safety, home monitoring. So I think that is a huge emerging field. And I actually think that, as that field advances, a lot of like the benefits that currently might be marketed, like putting somebody in a facility, can be transitioned into, okay, these benefits are now available in a home setting. So I think that's like very encouraging. My kind of number one thing is like, I would just like to encourage anyone out there to like join this ecosystem. Like, I think that we need more innovation. We need more entrepreneurship. Like, there's so much tech innovation going on in America, but like not enough going on in this market. And I think many people, until they enter the market, don't realize this is like $1 trillion market. It's like it's a huge opportunity to do tech innovation. So I see that as like a big, big positive, but it's happening gradually. And I think I would like to see it accelerate.
Well,